Here we go again. And Beth Morgan, what has been your biggest permaculture challenges and how do you overcome it? Thanks. Okay, Beth, definitely the biggest challenge I've ever had is trying to get people in the developed world to live together and just stay on track and have good habits of working on beneficial systems and stop getting distracted and trying to propose to do irrational things that don't necessarily make any sense because they're in a position of privilege. When you're working with people in the underdeveloped world, they don't have those distractions and they don't take those risks. They'll just get on with doing things that need to be done. And they have good habits and they have good work ethics. Where in the developed world, we're totally distracted and we don't have necessarily very good work ethics. And we're always wanting to do quite irrational, crazy things just to make statements that don't necessarily ever come to anything. So once when you get a good team of people working together that are not getting distracted, you're building a really good team of people. And that's very hard to do. And you know when you're doing good work because resources keep gathering around you, and most of them will be really good people. So if you find people who have a good team, they attract a good team of people around them. There's a very good reason for that. And when that team's a really good team that can do really good work, something's going right. And it's usually taking quite a long time to achieve. So, trying to get people not to concentrate their life on vices and bad habits, trying to discipline into just good common sense design. Let's not try doing anything weird and extreme until we're feeding ourselves. We've got really good water supply. We're all nice and healthy. We've got low energy use houses. Et cetera, et cetera. Let's not get carried away with crazy things. Keep an eye on the soil so that when you're building soil, increasing soil fertility and increasing soil quality and quantity, you're doing something right on the ground. And now we can try and do some other things that maybe hasn't been done before. Everybody's after fame. And most people are after fortune when they don't have to be. You just need to be in a situation where your soil's not deteriorating. Okay, now, Lavisa Cosgrave. Is there a way to apply permaculture design in an apartment? Yes, there is. One of the most impressive permaculture designs I've ever seen is a lady in Sydney that grows 70 kilos of food on 20 square meters of balcony, 2 stories up in the air. If you've got a balcony, it's a little bit easier, or if you've got a sunny window, of course you can reduce your energy consumption. Of course you can reduce your travel costs. Of course you can favour sustainable production if you can't all get it yourself. Of course you can volunteer with other people and get food locally for your efforts. Of course you can get involved in recycling, etc. It's not just growing food. It's a revolution disguised as gardening, yes, but it's really sedition, right? It's where we don't need authorities to tell us what to do because they're obviously not going to tell us what we should be doing. They're not going to tell us to reduce energy. They're not going to tell us to reduce, become more sustainable. They're not going to tell us to reduce the economy, et cetera, et cetera. We need to do it. And there's many ways you can do that without having your own personal land. It's not about owning land. It never is. You don't really own the land. Right? You just got a title that says you own it. It's access to land. You don't take it with you when you go, It's like yours forever. It's just like, it's your access to it. And you only own the story, your own story, of what you've achieved in your life. And it can be a good story no matter where you're housed at the moment. Now, M. May. In New Zealand, what's a chemical-free approach to getting rid of coddling moth from stone fruit trees? stay blessed. Well, there are all sorts of herbs that you can look up online about codling moth, and the classic one is chickens, because they break the cycle. They break the larvae cycle in the ground. So it can come obviously from fallen fruit, and the fallen fruit has the larvae that goes into the ground and pupates. So if your fallen fruit are getting pecked over by chickens, or you're collecting the fallen fruit and aiming it through chicken systems, they're taking out the larvae, they break the larvae cycle. And then there are quite a few herbs, if you look online, that you can include as well. Like many things, it's a number of things put together that make the codling moth insignificant. You're probably never going to get rid of the codling moth, and we probably don't have to. But the codling moth keeps us in check to be better growers of stone fruit trees. In your case, it's stone fruit. But, increasing the diversity in your system so you have extra chicken food, so you can put in a lot of support species. You're in New Zealand, so probably Takasasti tree lucerne would be a great legume that you can cut as mulch to the ground around your fruit trees at the right time when you open up, when the rain is heavier than the evaporation at that period of time in the year, but also potentially help feed the chickens. Because you're going to reduce your inputs there and increase the chicken effect on the codling moth. We'll do one more. Ming, we can't do one more. I'm getting pulled up. We'll have to go on to the next one. There we go. Thank you.